Throughout this interview, you've mentioned how cosplay has really impacted your life, how much you love it, and that you want to make it a career, even going back to school to enhance your skills. But if you had never discovered cosplay, what do you think your life would look like right now?
It would be very different. um, Before I got into cosplay, or at least right when I was getting into it, I was going to university for graphic design because for years my goal was to become an animator and maybe work at a big company like Pixar or Disney or DreamWorks. But when I got into university, I didn't enjoy the classes and found that my teachers were incredibly harsh, and often that their criticisms of what you were working on didn't exactly help because in the end they still graded you harshly. And it's like, well, I could have fixed that if you had told me to fix it. um but yeah, like, as I've said before, art has been a big part of my life, and for the longest time I did want to pursue that. So I think if I had continued that, I would definitely have a cleaner house. Um, I probably would be I wouldn't be broke. um, you know, um, Definitely a different place, but I think I'm happier where I am now, even after all of the drama that I've dealt with in the cosplay community. And even times where it's like, why do I still cosplay? I could have more money if I didn't spend this much on cosplay or whatever. I think it's worth it. And yeah.
Do those thoughts cross your mind often? Why did I get into cosplay? Why did I get so deep? It's not too late to pull back a little bit.
Yeah. Um, when I first got into cosplay, it was a little bit like that, and it's been a little bit like that again recently. Um, and often I find it just depends on your in real life situations. Obviously, when I first got into it, I was in college. I was taking full-time classes, and I was like, I'm spending all this time on cosplay. I should be working on, my classes and stuff like that, or, spending time with family. Um, so those are some common things that get brought up when it's like, oh, why are you, like, even with family, like, why are you still so into cosplay? Or, it's just dress up and stuff like that. Um, but there's also, the fact of this is a very big community, and unfortunately, drama happens. So there's definitely times where it's like, I wouldn't have to deal with this drama if I wasn't doing cosplay, or, it's the thoughts of, well, maybe I need to pull back on social media and take a break. And those are incredibly valid thoughts.
You've mentioned drama a couple times, and it seems like everyone will encounter some sort of drama in their community, but with the cosplay community, it seems to happen more often than not with people, especially if you're prolific, such as yourself.
Yes.
Is there any drama that you mind sharing with us that you may have gone through? You don't need to get specific, but what occurs when you're in the cosplay community for so long that may have you bumping heads with people or different things? What is this drama?
Um, Most of the time, I would say it's about communication. Um, Not everyone is great at communication, and that's just part of life. Um, but especially when like conventions are around, if you're doing groups or you want to meet up with someone, not everyone may be communicative of how their costume's going, or if they can actually meet up, or if they even want to meet up in the first place. um, and so it's it's easy to fall in the trap of slapping on a smile and pretending that everything's okay. So I think that would be a lot of the biggest problems with cosplay is just communication, being honest with each other, but also not being rude or harsh. Um, and other times it's, maybe more related to cosplay itself. Like, um, obviously, I'm big into helping others with like disabilities and the LGBTQ community. There is unfortunately these stigmas of like, oh, you don't look like the character or whatever, and it's like these people are just trying to have fun. They're trying to dress up as a character that they love, and you're making unnecessary comments about it, and um, a lot to do with that.